And you?
Good.
Oh, all right.
Thanks for asking.
All right. You are welcome.
Do you have any books to be published soon? Like any agreement between you and Darryl to...
There are already a few, and the channel and those involved in disseminating the information are working on plans to publish other books. But you can talk to them about that.
All right.
Since I am not part of the publishing company.
All right, I'll do that.
All right.
Other question is, I know that our bodies are made of energy. I understand that.
Yes.
So any ailments or any diseases we have, does it have to do with any energy blocks in our physical bodies?
It can. Again, the idea is that you have formed a general consensus reality and agreed that certain things shall be generally held as true. A lot of these general consensus truths have to do with how physical reality works. A lot of it has to do, therefore, with the idea of chemistry. Mm-hmm. Therefore, blockages can occur by absorbing into your bodies the idea that you have labeled as toxins. And if you have toxins in your body, which all of you do, then that can, because of the consensus reality of how chemistry functions, actually block the cellular structures in your body from absorbing the appropriate nutrients to allow your body to rapidly balance and heal itself. Therefore, this is why we strongly urge individuals who are attempting to make themselves more receptive to synchronicity and higher energies to thoroughly detoxify their bodies on a relatively regular basis, to get the toxins out and put the proper nutrients in to allow the body to operate on the neurochemical electrical level that it was intended to operate on so that it can function in a balanced state.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes, it does. Other question is, it has to do with, you were talking in your book about the properties of an object.
Yes.
And by changing them, you could change the object itself.
Yes.
And you could do time travel and everything.
Yes.
So can we, as third-dimensional beings, become the frequencies of the places we want to go to and visit? For example, let's say Andromeda or Mars. Or
however, you cannot do that as third-dimensional beings. However, you can do it as fourth-dimensional beings.
All right. So
remember that you actually exist in the fourth dimension. We know that a lot of terminology on your planet gets confused on this issue. Third density, fourth density, third dimension, fourth dimension. Physically speaking, mechanically speaking, mathematically speaking, you're actually in 4 dimensions. 3 of space, 1 of time. Mm-hmm. Therefore, by accelerating the idea of yourself as a fourth dimensional being and raising the vibration so that you're coming closer to fifth dimensionality, you can thus recognize that location is simply one of the variables of the definition of an object, and you can transport yourself to various places even as we do.
Mm-hmm. So for the time being, then, we're just going to do detox and everything to be allowing the higher frequencies.
It will be a beginning. We will see if you can detox your way to Andromeda.
All right.
There may be other belief systems also involved in that process that may require some changing.
All right. It will happen in time, right?
It can.
Yeah. All right. All right. I've been following my excitement, especially recently.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
And so I've been already passing through 2 different fields, which is business field and medical field.
All right.
And the second is more exciting than the first, but still not completely.
All right.
So
now remember, first of all, before you continue, if I may,
yes,
when we talk about the idea of doing something that excites you, we are also talking about doing it in the most exciting way that you can. Sometimes individuals may think a certain thing doesn't excite them, but that may be only because they're not doing it in as exciting a way as they could be doing it. Sometimes you also can make the decision that certain things are not representative of your excitement, but you have to have the ability to make the discernment as to which is which. And the first thing to always check is simply that you may be making something seem not exciting because of your belief systems about it, when in fact you could actually be going about it in a more exciting way and reclaiming the excitement that is there. So as long as you check that first, then you can make a decision more easily as to whether or not the thing itself is truly representative of your excitement or not.
Okay. So you answered my question, which is, I am thinking now to be in the nonprofit field.
Oh, all right.
And
why is that exciting for you?
Because I feel it fits my personality a lot.
Oh, right.
I feel I have qualities that match this field more than others, and I also can able to help people who need help.
All right, and this is exciting for you,
It is exciting for me, yes.
All right, and so what actions will you take in that direction?
I've been already researching on taking a degree in school again the third time.
All right.
But since I've been planning to simplify my life also, if I do that, I'm gonna have to take more debt and everything.
Maybe not. Why do you assume that that's the case? Because that's the way it's always been?
In a way, yes.
Well, what does the way it's always been have to do with the way it can be?
I got your point.
Oh, thank you. Are you going to act on it?
I am going to act on it, but do you have any comment or advice or guidance towards how I'm going to act on it?
Well, I sort of just gave you some. The idea is to start relaxing your definitions of what seems to work for everyone else and recognize that you are a unique reality and that you can create the definitions within yourself that will work for you, and you don't have to do it the way someone else has done it. At the same time, as we said before to another individual, honor the belief systems that you do hold on to that you know you're not willing to let go of. If you truly believe that you need to do it a certain way, even though it may not be fully representative of your highest joy, but you feel you can't let go of that belief, then I would not let it go, because you may then throw yourself off a cliff and not be able to recover. The idea is to always honor the belief system and change them at whatever pace you are comfortable with changing them, based on the degree to which you're willing to believe that the new belief can actually support you. But I can guarantee you that any new belief you come up with that actually is believed by you to be capable of supporting you in whatever way you need to be supported will work, if you believe that it will, without the expectation that it must do so in a certain way. Again, we will be discussing this in more detail tomorrow when we discuss the idea of the relationship between physical mind and higher mind and how they can work more smoothly together. All right?
All right. Thank you very much, Bashar.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Bashar.
Good day.
We have another question from our listeners.
Yes.
Many scientists have been researching free energy generation.
Yes.
And there's been a lot of claims that it's been realized, but nothing seems to have really materialized in our society, at least not for public use.
Yes.
So it's unknown whether this is due to claims being false, or it's because these discoveries are silenced by major corporations because it's threatening.
All right. It is due to, A, claims being false, some of them, some being suppressed, some of them, some not being quite ready yet.
So is there really free energy?
There is free energy all around.
Well, I mean, are there
There are devices that can be created to tap into it, yes. Yes.
So what's the current state of that? Is it just that we're not ready to accept it, or why?
Well, now understand that when we make this general statement, it is a generalization. Different people in different places on your planet may be at different stages of readiness to explore this. You understand?
Yes.
So we are giving you an overall average here. The degree of general average readiness that your belief systems are at with respect to exploring the ability to create devices that can tap free energy is about 4 to 5%.
So it's still really low.
Yes.
So what would be the most likely form of free energy that we would generate in the near...
Tapping into the electromagnetic field of your planet.
When do you see something like that happening?
As we read the energy now, because as many of you know, there is no such thing as a prediction of the future, because the future doesn't exist.
Right.
As we read the energy now, what seems most likely to come to pass if the energy doesn't change is that you will get a full handle on this sometime between your year of 2015 and 2030.
Okay, well, that's good.
It is what it is.
Okay, thank you, Bashar.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Thank you. Recently, I heard about a process where people change their way of getting energy. I've heard of breatharians, where people supposedly don't eat; they get their energy from air.
This is available to some individuals. Not many of you actually need to do that. There is nothing wrong or less spiritual with the idea of eating, you know.
Yes.
It's just that in different cases, people are exploring different things, and sometimes some individuals on your planet will be capable of raising their frequency to the point where they themselves, as we have just discussed, can, through their own bodies, tap into the free energy of creation, and thus are sustained by that, even as our civilization does that, because we no longer eat. But it doesn't mean that you are less spiritual if you are accessing your energy still through the idea of food.
So how would we develop the ability to access our energy through light, through our light body, say, the light that's already in us?
Do you remember what we said about what acting on your excitement does to your energy? It increases your frequency. And thus, by increasing your frequency, it makes you more sensitive to higher energies, more capable of receiving and processing and accessing and using and applying higher frequencies in a variety of ways. So the only real fundamental criteria, even though there may be different ways of doing it on a case-by-case basis, different interpretations, different styles of approaching this, the fundamental common issue is the more you are willing to relax any expectations of the physical mind, the more you are willing to act with firm knowing on the things that are truly representative every moment of your highest passion, no matter what they may be, the more you will sensitize yourself to be capable of needing energy in less solid forms and be capable of being sustained by energy in more rarefied forms. If you will notice, many times when individuals are actually truly involved, engaged, immersed in doing what they love to do, are in the moment, in the present with it, they often don't eat very much. And the idea is they are sustained by the higher energy. The issue, however, is not to force yourself to do this, not to force yourself not to eat. When you find your natural balance, when you find your natural rhythm, the amount you eat or don't eat will also balance itself out. You will know when you need what you need. You will know when you don't. It becomes a natural, intuitive, second nature thing. It's not something you have to force yourselves to do. Does that make some sense?
Yes.
As we said, the idea of your excitement, your passion, that highest energy is your true core self. That's why it's so important to act on it at every opportunity, because that means you're in alignment with your true self. That high energy is automatically not only the driving engine, but the organizing principle of your life. And it will automatically put into proper order, in proper amount, in proper timing, all the things that are actually necessary to sustain you and allow you to expand further in that exciting state of being. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It all works hand in hand holistically. It's all a complete kit. It's all self-reinforcing. You don't have to do anything special to make it work. All you have to do is allow it to happen, allow it to run, because it's always working. Even if you don't know it, it's always working, because you're always using it to create whatever you believe is the most likely thing you can create. And you've always done so. And all you're attempting to do now, all of you, is simply become more conscious of the choices you're making that create the experiences you are having. You are not learning to create. You already do that flawlessly. The issue is, what are you creating? You follow?
Oh, yes.
Does this help you?
Yes.
Does it answer the question?
Yes, that question. Well, maybe a little more detail in regards to
respect?
How we can. I mean, I understand following my excitement.
You do?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, yes.
All right.
And
the
tuning into this frequency of light, say that I am,
Yes.
would raise my vibration.
If your imagination tells you that there's a particular methodology that you would like to create as a permission slip to give yourself more ability to feel that you're tapping into that light, then trust your imagination. That's what it's there for.
Okay.
This is all about permission slips. All the tools, all the techniques, and all the rituals that your imagination comes up with are simply permission slips that are geared to your particular belief system that will work in harmony with your belief system to give you permission to grant yourself the ability to be more of who you are. So trust your imagination and intuition in coming up with those methodologies.
Okay.
But at the same time, we simply remind you that that's all they are, is permission slips, and you actually don't need any of them if you have a belief system that says you don't.
Yes.
So?
When you earlier stated that your state currently is of quasi-spiritual and physical, going back and forth,
Yes.
I take that means you don't sleep?
No.
No.
We do not.
So,
We do not eat. We do not sleep.
So just pure existence, consciousness,
Pure
functioning, joy.
Pure joy. Pure experience. Pure synchronicity. Pure living.
Wow.
Wow. Which upside down in your language is mom.
Mama. And when you said that, I guess here's a conversation about where does the imagination kick in and where does something else happening outside of imagination occur?
All right. Again, this is something that we will be addressing to some degree when we talk about the relationship and the ability to communicate between physical and higher mind. Imagination is fundamentally the conduit between higher mind and physical mind through which communication from one to the each occurs. And the idea of learning to discern the difference between communication from the higher mind and ideas that may be embedded in the ego structure of the physical mind will be something that we'll be addressing in more detail tomorrow of your time.
Okay.
All right.
So I have a personal question then.
Oh, all right.
So when you made that statement and I tuned into that, I felt this sensation.
Yes.
I don't have words for it.
And
So was that my higher mind experiencing what you were talking of, or was that my imagination with embedded belief systems from the past kicking in?
can you define the actual sensation?
It was expansive.
Then it is the higher mind, because the physical ego structure will not allow you to expand beyond a certain point. That's the point.
And it also had a certain flavor of pleasure to it.
There you go. Now, we understand that sometimes ego structure can deliver pleasurable sensations to you to reinforce the idea of negative beliefs. But if you believe that the expansive feeling was more in alignment with the idea of joy and unconditional loving support, then it is more likely it was something from a connection to the higher self rather than the idea of the control that usually comes with the physical ego structure's version of granting you pleasure.
Oh, yes.
Make sense?
Oh, I understand that, yes.
All right. Does that help you learn to tell the difference?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Another question, Bashar.
Yes.
We have a question about the jellyfish crop circle that recently showed up in Europe. And
Yes.
we'd like to know what you can tell us about it.
The symbolism on one level. Of course, there are many symbolisms to the idea of many of these different glyphs that are created in a variety of ways. Some of them are created by humans, some of them are not in the classical sense. Nevertheless, they all have symbology. The idea of the jellyfish appearing at this time is to represent the notion of moving through your environment in a fluid manner, without resistance, effortlessly propelling yourself bit by bit, smoothly along. You understand?
Yes.
And that you can tap into that energy and allow your life to become one of ease, one of effortlessness as you move forward. Gliding, sliding, flying through the medium that heretofore you felt you could only crawl through, struggle through. That which heretofore acted as an obstacle or an impediment is now something you can glide through. It becomes a supporting medium, a buoyant medium as opposed to that which holds you down. Does that make sense?
Yes.
As you lighten up your vibration, no longer do you feel the pressure of the weight of the water, symbolically speaking, above your head. You now rise up and float through it, fly through it, glide through it, because you yourself are lighter in the water and so must rise to the level that matches your frequency. You follow?
Yes, that's just lovely. It's really
Some
beautiful.
jellyfish, however, can sting
And kill.
and kill. And that is always a reminder, just like the yin-yang symbol, that even though there is light, there is some darkness in it, always. Even though there is darkness, there is always some light, and both sides are always accessible from one another. So even though there may be the ability of the jellyfish to float free, there is always the reminder that you always have the ability to choose the negative side, but do not have to. The more you allow the stinger to be an accepted part of your whole being, of your whole identity, the less reason there is to choose the negative side as an experience, as long as you validate it as an equal choice, as part of who you are. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's just wonderful how that really represents the darkness and the light and how we're always at choice.
Yes. Of course, there will always be those who would prefer peanut butter and jellyfish. They like their things sticky.
Thank you, Bashar.